Yes, nice that I'm be here and I have the opportunity to speak non-over technical things. My name is Jan Doberstein and I'm a system administrator. So I'm living in an area that you can actually name the Rust Belt of Germany. Others would call it a Metroplex, or for the Germans it's known as the Ruhrgebiet. So yeah, I work for a US-based company with an open core product, and I do support for enterprise and enterprise customers and open source community. So I communicate a lot, mainly written, and in the past month I have just observed that my communication is following social known behaviors that we talked yesterday, obviously in German, about the code of conduct. But it is this, we have patterns that we follow in our communication. And when you follow those patterns and you are friendly in the first place, the other party that is responding to you will respond in the same way as you do. Communicate with her. So we start a conversation always with a nice greeting, right? But why do we do this? First, it is to make ourselves comfortable in a situation and with other people also comfortable. Imagine you find yourself in a strange place or a strange situation where you can't get out and you are not able to find a helpful person that offers this service for you, like a guide or something like this. So you try to open your body language for someone that is standing around and waving your hand or signaling in any kind or in words that you need help and that you say, "Hi, can you help me?" So you try to establish a friendly environment first that the other person will help you. The other thing is that when you try or begin a conversation with a nice greeting, the other person will greet you back in the same manner. If you smile at the person will smile back at you. Try this. Try this yourself. Go to a bakery, order your bread or whatever, and smile during that order. The other person will just smile back to you and will be friendly to you, no matter what you order, no matter what you complain about. If you're friendly with that, the other person will be friendly too. So, as an example for that, you come into a bus where many elderly people are in, and you have your earphones on because it was after a long day at work, and you didn't want to talk to anyone. But you sit down, and you will be an obstacle in this bus, because everyone will be, who? He didn't want to talk to anyone, we leave him alone. Now imagine something is happening. You get a heart attack, or you break down, or you need help. Those people that think that you are an obscure person that just sits there and do not want to talk to anyone will obviously not help you as fast as they would have when you just greet the elderly people and say, "Hi." Just by waving the hands, giving one single word will make you part of this family, because it is actually a group of people in a bus sitting together, and you will be known to them, at least by a single, "Hey, that's enough." And you could just follow this in any place and in every time. And it doesn't matter in what kind of situation you are. When you start a conversation with a friendly, smiling word, it will be so that you can actually be protected. Imagine not that you are in a bus and something happened, but you're walking somewhere and you're in a situation, in a street, in a city that you actually do not know. When you are friendly to the persons and not wearing your headphones, giving every outsiders the clear signal, "I do not want to talk to you," they will probably help you in a situation where you need help. like because someone is pointing a gun at you, or you are walking somewhere where it's dangerous overall. So even in this group here, when we would have been in an area where it's dangerous in some places, people will warn you. You never talked to before, but you just greet them over here during the conference, and they notice, hey, he's going over there where it's dangerous. He should not go there. I will warn him. They never talked to you before, but they have in mind that you greeted them and that you actually will be in a dangerous situation when you do this certain thing, and they will try to prevent you from that. So in the end, a simple greeting or simply be friendful to others will protect you in some way from danger. So, and also a greeting will show your social status over in a group. Imagine you come over to a group, maybe here you meet new people, you meet old friends, and there are people that you smile at, you hug, and all is fine. And then there is this single person who just refused to greet you. And this is a social sign that he is not friendly to you. And you will just push him away and get him away and will probably try to solve this situation. But overall, it's a clear signal he do not want to talk with you. So refusing a greeting is also a sign of some relationship that you might have or not. So smile and greet will make your life and life of others better. Because imagine you are the person that receives an order. Also here, the waiters at the conference. Greet them. Say thank you to them if they just pick up your dishes or whatever. And they will have a better day because they feel seen and they will be feeling more like part of the society, and they are not something that is just happening. But wait. What have this to do with greeting? It's just one part of the social conduct, right? And what have that to do with some kind of internet when we talk here over communication? And I can't greet someone over in an internet community because he can't see my hand, right? So when you stick to such things like greeting in a conversation, in an internet forum, community, email, or whatever, you will transport the same things. Means when you greet a person in an email and you say a goodbye in the email and you have a full sentence and not a chat-like or SMS-like communication overall, you will get out of this conversation with a better feeling. And but people tend to do chat-like conversations, especially in business cases or when you work together, because we have no time. It's always the case, we never have time for anything. But those ancient rules that we have, that you greet a person, that you give a conversation-style communication, will feel everyone better. So start greeting an email. It is a cultural difference. So over here in Europe, it would be dear forename. In the US, it would be just forename, and that's it. But be there and be the shiny person, be the excellent person that just do a proper communication. Always greet with dear, use the forename for that person. It makes this person feel better, because that was a part of the code of conduct yesterday. In another cultural environment, just writing the forename could be something like you scream at the person or you want to beat the person. It's rude to just write forename, comma, and then what you want. It's like shouting at that person, making that person not valuable. And by just adding, dear sir, can you do this, please? the complete conversation is more friendly overall. But it could be right that a written communication can be over formal and could be extremely long. Imagine you write such an email. It's friendly, yes, but you know, this would be enough, right? So for your information could be this. It's just 3 letters overall, but having it written down this way communicates more because you value the person, and it's not just giving him a paper and saying, "Hey, take it, whatever you want with that." So this should be enough, or because when it is, you could feel like a whim when you say, "Hey, this is rude what you do here." But there is a phrase over here in Germany that you would say, "How you shout out in the wood, it come back," or in the US you would say, "You'll catch more flies with honey than vinegar," right? So be friendly, be the person that excels with friendliness, and you will get what you give. But BOFH, I think few of you were sitting here because there is this BOFH reference, right? So, what the hell? And a question: who does not know what BOFH means? Okay, I will explain that. It's a reference to the bastard operator from hell. It's a fictional rogue computer operator who takes out his anger on users and others to pester them with his excellence in computer things. And his expertise is used against his enemies and is used to manipulate his employer. So he takes out benefits because of his skills of everything. So he tries everything to make just his life better and himself feeling better about the stupidness of others. So that's the reference. And he is excellent in using excuses for everything that does not matter at all, and people will not understand, because what could that mean? It's an actual BOFH excuse, and it's a generic excuse that might excuse the user's problem at all, but it must not be connected in any way. And that is what is happening for a person that does not have your knowledge overall. Because usually this person comes to you because that person has a problem. And when you talk in your own terms, this person might not understand what you are talking at all, and it is the same like this. You could say, "Hey, this is not working because the sun is shining." What does that mean for the user? It's just generic, right? So overall, it will leave a question mark at the user's face after he's leaving your desk, because he comes over to you, and that reminds me of this, right? It's it's like giving nothing out. And the question is, do you really want to be a person that is rude to others, not by, or not willingly, more like the way you act, without thinking about what you do? Because you are in your own bubble, you are in your own world, and you are very focused on something. But for a person that comes over to you that is not part of your bubble, you're speaking something, you're speaking wrong tongues, or whatever you will call it. So you use words they do not understand. And so this fictional thing is, for the user, in the end, real. And myself reminds me always at this, because hello IT, have you tried turning it off and on again? Is a default phrase. If you are working really in IT, how many times all of you have said this sentence to someone?
How often did it pick something?
That's another part. But how many people use that phrase actually? Okay, it's true. But the thing is, I wanted to be like the BOFH when I was young, when I was a starter. It was a hero for me. It was a person I admire, and I want to be exactly like that. And over time, I was in the other part, so I was a person that needed help. And the other guy, or whoever person that was, it was just a mailing list. But this person behaves like the BOFH and put the mirror in front of me. And so I thought always that need to be, you should always think what you do and how you act to others. Right, you got it. The point is, always speak with people in a professional manner. Means always act like you would have another person helping you, that this person should act. Always put the mirror in front of you and think, am I the person I would expect in the other part? That is what you should do. No matter if it is a paid service you offer, if it is company internal, or if you do open source contribution. When you are an asshole over at GitHub issues or at PRs, it will mirror back to you, and in the end, it could mirror over back to your company. Because the company might have a code of conduct, and you are not following this because you are not professional over to users who spend their free time, their spare time to help your product. And it means that people will always judge what you write. And we know all the internet does not forget anything. I can find my own postings to a SUSE mailing list that are back 20 years now. And I see the shit I have written there. And it's not nice to see what you have written there and how you argued with your... It's not nice. Google yourself and go back to the last page. Just do this when you have ever communicated in mailing lists with your clear name. Or use your PGP ID and look back where you find this in any conversation. There are archives of anything. So do this. Because what is happening, people will develop emotions just when they read your name. They develop emotions they will have in the moment they see your avatar. They will develop some kind of behavior that reflects what you have written somewhere. As I said, I do support the community, and I write a lot on the community board. And I always say, okay, I will invest as much time as the person that asked the question invested in the question to answer the question. So if it's just one sentence without a greeting and everything, my answer will be one sentence. And if that is actually more and the user invested time to display what he has done, what the problem is, and what he had tried and where he has actually a problem to understand the issue, then I will invest the same amount of time to explain the problem to him when I'm able to. And that is something that you should have always in mind. Be no dick, right? Because it's a boomerang. When you are a dick to people, they will act the same when you are in the situation that you need help. No matter if it's over here in a venue at a conference or it is somewhere in the internet. It does not matter. Because there are people out here that know me from Twitter or wherever. They have a certain picture in mind. And when I'm acting like a dick on Twitter, they think I'm really this person. It does not matter if I am that person, or if I have just an humor account that just always argues with big arguments. It's connected to me as a person. So it comes back. Everything you do comes back to you. And the thing is, you can't always be friendly, right? You are in a bad mood. You have a hell of a day. You had on-calls, going, whatever. You didn't sleep. Your child is sick. And you are really on a top level. And someone is asking a really stupid question. And when you reflect yourself during you type in the answer saying, just read the fucking manual, you should just stop. Step back. Because it's important that you look for yourself, that you start reflecting what you do. Because when you are in a bad mood and bring that down in a written way, it will come back to you. I find myself in a situation that I just answered during a flyover in an airport or whatever, to very rude to a user question. And that user just reflects that back and shouted at me and blamed me really. And it was good, because that showed me it was wrong what I did. And that is one of the reasons for this talk, right? Because I had a red-eyed fly, and I didn't feel well, and I thought I can answer just these questions. But I wasn't in the mood for that. So give yourself the time to step back. You can't help everyone. And you didn't have the time for that, and you need to be in the right mood to help others. So ask yourself always, before you write something, and before you act like a BOFH, do I really want to be the colleague that is acting like the BOFH, shouting at people, sending them over to the basement and looking for a Wi-Fi cable or something like that? Because when you do this, it's funny maybe when you have a trainee or something like that, but it will come back to you in some way. And you must ask yourself always, do I want to be that person, or do I want to have that person in front of me? Do I want that they act to me like this? Because it will always come back. And what would you tell that person that is acting like a BOFH? What would you tell there? This person who is just randomly shouting at people, giving them nonsense answers. What would you tell that person when it's a colleague of you? And when you have that answer, always follow that advice for yourself. That is the important thing. That is nothing that we can answer here in this round, because everyone is different. It is. You have different humors, you have different societies where you are living in, you have different bubbles, and what might be okay in one company, shouting at each other, building a toxic environment, it's okay for some people, yes, but for some not. And always decide where you want to be. And it might be good that you are just a person that excels with a good behavior and that always bring a smile in the room and say, hey guys, how are you going? Or better, hey you all, because we want to be fair to all other genders, right? So, if you feel angry yourself, do not communicate at all. Or ask someone to prove your communication before you send it out, if you really need to communicate when you are angry or in a bad mood. When you do support, or when you do something that needs communication at all, it does not need to be support, it could be sales or marketing or whatever. When you need to communicate, you are forced, but you are in a bad mood, always take a second pair of eyes to read what you have written and want to send out. Do not send that out blindly. It will come back to you. But if possible, just step back, wait, sleep, breathe, and rest before you send the answer out. And what is more important? Oh, that should. Take care of yourself. Check your mood. Be kind to yourself and do whatever makes you feel better at all. Like going to a concert might refill everything in yourself and you will get out of this in a good mood. Or go to the beach, drink a beer. It is also good, right? So it does not matter at all what you do. But take care of yourself. And yes, I'm Jalogisch on Twitter, GitHub, or whatever, social media. You can find me there. You can write me over at Jalogisch or jd@jalogisch. And when you want, we can discuss this. But I could also just drop the mic and we are ready with that. Any questions? Or sentences you want to add?
I agree, man. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, beautifully put. And just like you said, you get what you give, and you gave us this talk, so you get a present.
Thank you.